Holy cow, I didn't put my mask on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hold on a minute here. Oh my gosh. How frightful that would have been to have my identity known.
I heard a big bang like right when we were about to go. So
that was me.
Assuming that was you.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'll tell you what. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. It is the Mass Comedian X-Cast. Along with Big Ace, I'm Mass Comedian X. Holy cow, there was a lot of stuff going on this week. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. I heard about a lot of it. We're going to cover some of it. Just to let everybody know, we're broadcasting live right now on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch. If you're watching on any of those, please give us a comment and let us know where you're watching and where you're at and anything else you want to, tell us, like how good a looking mask I got. Because I do got a good looking mask.
It really is.
It's yeah, my green screen doesn't work real great.
I need you to get the full bodysuit like the guy on the green screen though.
Like Starman?
Yeah, I think that'd
be great.
Be a nice touch. Be a nice touch.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
How's it going, man?
Oh my gosh. So it was busy. It was busy, I'll tell you. There's a lot of people. It's you get going on stuff in the winter. You get shows. I got a show in Merrill, Wisconsin on Friday, and it was very hectic because we drove out, did the show, and drove back. From here, that's about a 3.5 hour drive, and so we got home. Everything was fine, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, my son called and said, "Hey, you want to come over here? Your grandkids are sick." And I said, "Well, why would I want to do that? What possible reason would I go hang around with sick kids?" But anyway, long story short, I spent about the whole day until his significant other came home from work and played around with the little girl that kept vomiting. So that was the best Saturday ever, alongside with the Vikings losing.
Yay! I don't know. I don't care. I honestly don't care, and I don't want anybody watching this who's in Minnesota or knows me, and they're like, "Oh, you're just mad because the Cowboys sucked this year, whatever." I don't care. You guys would have won. I would have been like, "Good for you." I don't care. I'm not going to rub it in anybody's face. I'm not that guy. Like, look, your team lost. It sucks.
Look, I would have a tendency to agree with you, and I would also say that I tell this to everybody who says, "Oh my gosh, we're so sorry about your Vikings." I mean, don't be sorry. They've been disappointing me personally since 1974.
That's my question. And if there's anybody watching that is Vikings fan in Minnesota, this is the question. This isn't a new trend for that football team. But why do you guys act like it every year? You act so surprised that they dropped the ball. Yeah. I don't understand it. You should be used to this by now. I'm used to it. The Cowboys started out hot this year, and I was like, it ain't going to last.
Yeah.
Look what happened. You know what I mean? Like, such confidence Minnesota Viking fans have every year, and then just boom. It's just... Oh, it's so funny. They have closed captioning on our show. I didn't know they do that on YouTube. That's hilarious.
Well, they can. No, I don't. I don't think it is while it's live.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it? I know. Whatever. Oh, there's a couple comments. Ooh, my. Oh, there's good old Ro guys. Hello there.
Yeah. One of my cruise buddies, and it's so close to the cruise. So close. And we have a snowstorm. Yeah, Mr. Airport guy. Comedian X.
When you go out,
make sure my plane leaves Saturday.
Saturday, I will not be working.
You jerk.
Can't help it. Friday and Saturday, many people do not know this because they follow the weather in their own area. Friday, we're supposed to get 6 to 8 inches. Saturday, an additional chunk. And so the hard part for you will not be getting to Minneapolis. I mean, will not be getting out of the airport. It will be getting to Minneapolis. We can get the snow off, no problem.
See, and I'm not too worried about that. I feel like 52's usually handled pretty well. Oh, feature on your okay. That's still very cool.
It's very cool.
Awesome. Big shout out to Erica right there with that. I'm just my big thing is, even if we do get to leave Saturday, if there's even the slightest delay, we're definitely missing our connecting flight in Dallas.
No kidding.
We have like 35 minutes to get off the plane.
Oh no!
Actually takes off. So I'm a little leery, but this is also why when they announced this Jericho cruise for January, which I was like, ugh, gross. We planned to fly 2 days in advance in case this happened. We can still get out Sunday. So
yeah,
and Sunday is looking all right. So worst comes to worst, I'm still gonna make it. That's all I care about.
Well, one day I'll tell you about how all of this de-icing and all of this stuff works, and on Sunday night, just to let you know, I did not leave the airport. I did not clock out until 10 minutes after 2 a.m. So those people on that Spirit Airlines flight that left at about 1:30 were really delayed. And I just can't imagine. I mean, I remember I used to fly a lot, and anytime I'd fly out to the Northwest, it would be always out to Seattle, and the way to get home from Seattle was the red eye that arrived at Minneapolis at like 1:55 in the morning. And airline flights, all of that stuff it's very interesting. It's very cool. And 6-year-old me loves being out at the airport watching the planes come by. What can I say? Should we get to
plane? It's a plane.
Dude, I am just such a big dork over all of that stuff. There was an Air Force C-7, which is like a huge plane, or C-17, 4 big old jet engines on this thing, and it took off right in front of us, and I was just a little pig in poo-poo, happy about it. But anyway.
It's hilarious. You know who is in poo-poo as well? That's a good way to segue. Should we talk about Tessa Blanchard and shitstorm that's going on?
My gosh.
Because, first of all, besides that, the big thing for Tessa Blanchard that people should be acknowledging, if what came out didn't come out, is she did win Impact's heavyweight title, which is for
everyone, not just female,
just the women's title. She won the title,
the big one,
off of Sami Callihan. That's a cool moment and a cool thing that they did with Impact, but she unfortunately earlier that week, when she was spouting off on Twitter about equality, or what was it, respect, telling the other ladies to respect the
each other. Yeah,
and like just basically out of the woodwork people came.
Yeah, basically the way I heard about it was it was and I think she got in trouble for, not for her sentiment, but for the way that she worded it, because I don't have it in front of me, but it was something along the lines of, try supporting other women instead of something around. I mean, I don't have it right in front of me, but that seems a bit condescending, and I'm sure that's why she caught it.
Yeah, and then there's about like 4 or 5 names. There was like 2 major incidents, and I don't know any of the details. Sorry, I should have did more homework on this, but again, too, I don't like getting stuck into that rabbit hole, this kind of part of wrestling, because it's just it's an unfortunate thing. Things happen with these people before they get to here, and they may not realize that when they did it, it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. She's an example of that. Hell, the big example of that would be Lars Sullivan, with, first of all, his offensive stuff that was online, the things he was saying, and now the gay porn videos that he's in, which nothing wrong with that. But again, that's not the image they want as for a WWE superstar to be a former porn star. What
are you telling me, that a PG show does not want a porn star to be a wrestler also? Oh my gosh.
Maybe. I don't know though. Triple H did make that comment about Paige this week as well. I don't know what's going on with people this week, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff. But yeah, I've met Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
She was at Waterloo. So when I say I met her, I've met her a few times throughout like a weekend long period and had, a conversation, and she was nothing but nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. I'm a fan. I'm not in the business, so I'm not going to probably get treated the same as colleagues would. But again, very nice girl, very excited to be there, very excited to be a part of things, excited to be in the world of wrestling. So, you always got to wonder what's true, what's not. But I mean, again, when you have multiple people coming out and saying, yeah, that story is true. I was there. Oh, hey, I remember that one too. It's like, and it's not that, shame on her for that. Again, you learn from your past.
All I can say is it's just sure a shame that it tarnishes the real accomplishment of winning that promotion's heavyweight championship.
Well, and that's just it. There was such a build of her and the Sami Callihan feud. Everybody knew that was going to lead to her getting that title. It was just a really big, long feud, a really good story, very well told. They had really epic matches. And then, like, the week it's finally going to culminate and the big pop's going to happen, that moment. And then it just comes out that she's, like, treating girls like shit backstage at one time. Who knows? But, she said that, hey, yeah, I made mistakes too. It is what it is. And it sounds like it's blowing over now. And it sounds like a lot of them are like, okay, cool. But it's sad that that's how it kind of happened. I mean, remember like when Kevin Hart was going to host the Oscars last year?
Oh, yeah.
And then like they dug out a tweet about him saying he didn't want his kid to be gay like 12 years before that.
Yeah.
And he even said, he's like, years ago, I said I was wrong for saying that. And now we're bringing this back up. I mean, it's just, you feel like there's always people there that are trying to drag people down when they're doing something successful.
Absolutely. That's the way our society is now. It's if they get too high, pull them down.
Yeah, and there was even an indie promotion that had Tessa Blanchard booked and like took her off. Like, just,
wow.
We're like, we don't want you here if this is what's going on. So, it was an interesting. It was interesting to see that unfold. And again, at the worst possible time for her.
Yeah,
really at the worst possible time. But again, hopefully it just blows over. Hopefully she does some cool stuff. But it also gives you maybe some insight to why WWE never signed her, because there was always that question of like, why didn't WWE sign her? She's Tully Blanchard's daughter. There's that lineage. There's that Hall of Fame blood. She's an excellent worker, great look, good on a mic, can tell a story. And then it came out with all this stuff that it sounded like it was attitude issues on why they didn't sign her. Both have said that, she says that she keeps in contact, but it's just, you always wondered that for how good a talent she was. Why didn't she make it over there? Why didn't the AEW bring her over? And maybe now we're finding out, but who knows?
Well, regardless, again, the big accomplishment, really the first woman to win, and you would have to say that Impact is a major promotion. First woman to win a heavyweight championship in a major promotion, and that's truly a big deal, given the fact that there will be no more Evolution pay-per-views. So congratulations to Impact on carrying forward the women's revolution.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and especially with, I mean, let's get into that, some of that WWE stuff, because obviously the big, and I know you're just so, well, I guess I don't know if you're into this. I know, because I know you're not really a Becky fan at the moment, but I know you're just a hardcore Asuka mark.
Yeah.
And man, I tweeted out last night. I was just like, it's just, to me, it's just impossible for me to have invested interest in this feud between them when I have zero dialogue between the two sides. And this is where you see where they're really hurting by taking Paige off of her and Kairi Sane.
Oh gosh, yes.
I love Asuka, and she is going to be and is a huge talent for WWE, but until she can actually really start to speak a little bit more English on TV, you gotta give her someone to be a mouthpiece, because
Right.
how else do you tell a story? Yes, in the ring, but you have to set up what happens in the ring on a microphone.
First of all, my opinion is the biggest waste of time in wrestling is the contract signing. Well, there you go.
No, you forgot him. You know what? I brought him last year because I bought him for the cruise last year to sign, and I didn't even take him out of my cabin. I'm not even bringing anything. I'm literally going to use the poster to have autographs if I do any of that. I thought about this, because Erica, you may have seen it too. Everybody's complaining with the Jericho cruise. Sorry, Mass Comedian X, that we're like going off into this, but
I'm ready to go where the listener wants us to go.
They announced the like meet and greets and stuff, and like they gave us all designated times and days and where we need to be. And it's really interesting for like the photos. You go into the room, there's certain people in there, you pick a ticket for one of the ones, you get your photo, and if there's any extras, you can get another ticket for someone else, but not guaranteed. So really you're guaranteed that when you go into the room, you get to pick one to meet for sure. But then that's about it. And then I started thinking, because a lot of people are complaining about it. People complained last year about the meet and greets. I didn't even go to a single meet and greet. I didn't go to one single autograph session on the Jericho cruise last year. And I still met everybody I wanted to meet. And
how'd you do that?
Because they're around. I just didn't feel the need to stand in line for 2 hours while I'm on vacation for a 10-second interaction autograph. You know what I mean? So it was just, and that is true. How do you just pick one person out of the elite? They're the elite. The group is elite. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I think that's going to be my plan of action. Is I'm just, when I see people, like, obviously not be like, oh my gosh, can I get my picture? Can you sign there? Just, hey, how's it going? Shake their hand. Really cool to meet you. They're at the bar. Hey, you want to do a shot or something? Like,
boy, how drunk do you think Hangman Page will be on the cruise?
I love that right now. Not so much on Dynamite, I guess, a little bit, but they're really, really hitting the whole he's becoming an alcoholic on the.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's great.
Really, really. When he sprays the body spray into his mouth last week, like that got me. That was when it was like. What? But yeah, that was that's been interesting.
It has been, and now as we're talking about the cruise, go ahead and explain to those that don't know. Absolutely,
I agree, Shauna.
He's a guy you want to run into on the cruise, because holy cow, I bet he doesn't even have to pay for drinks.
Cowboy shit.
But let's go ahead to explain why you don't have to pay for your Orange Cassidy shirt, because they have come across with how they are going to do the Dynamite during the cruise.
Yeah, and I forgot that I told you I wanted an Orange Cassidy t-shirt. I
remember everything.
Love it. Yeah, so when the whole Jericho cruise thing came about for the second time around, or part me and you were talking, because obviously AEW Dynamite would be well in the running on TNT by the time the cruise happened. So it was, what are they going to do that week? Because they're going to be in the middle of the ocean on a Wednesday night. Not going to be so live. And that was the bet. The bet was you thought there would still be a way.
I thought they'd still be live on the boat.
And I was saying there's no way. There's too many things going on in the boat that I don't think they would allow for any of that interference trying to broadcast live. Plus, it would just, like I said, you can't even get good internet on the boat. But so I had said, I think they'll pre-tape some stuff, or maybe like in the Bahamas tape some stuff, use the island to get it back to the States and to TNT, and that would be how it works. Well, they announced it, and everybody's watching who's going on the Jericho cruise know this. But yes, that is what's happening. We are going to be in Nassau from like 8 a.m. to midnight. And at like 6:30 that night, they will be doing a 2-hour Dynamite taping.
Are they now? I can't recall because you sent it to me and I didn't look at it before we started talking. Are they going to tape it on the boat or are they going to tape it somewhere in the Bahamas?
No, on the boat.
So it will be on the boat.
It will be on the boat.
See, you know how close I was to winning my shirt.
I mean, yeah, if they would have did it live, if it was Tuesday Night Dynamite, and
I know, baby,
you would have got it, bro. But what I'm interested to see though is when you do TV, there's always that element of the production value and staging and all that. If anybody was on the cruise last year or watched any of the matches from the cruise last year, literally it's a ring on a pool deck. One edge has the stage, but the wrestling stuff did nothing really with the stage, with the exception of Sami Callihan and Marty Scurll's street fight that got on stage on the big stage for a minute. So, and again, they were just walking out of two doors that come out from the gym onto the pool deck around the hot tubs to the thing. Like there was, there was really nothing like real, like, so that's I'm interested to see if it's going to look like that. And people are going to be like, wow. So it's literally just a ring on the middle of a pool deck.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if maybe for that taping, if they might bring in a little bit of extra staging or something to give it a bit better feel for the TV part of it. So
do you know, is it the same boat?
No,
they were on? So it's a different boat. So maybe it's a bigger boat. Maybe they have more room.
Similar. It might be a little bit bigger. I don't know if anybody's watching that's going on the cruise and knows if the boat's bigger than last year. Let me know, because I don't know. I think they're the same class or something like that. But
they may be the same class. They just maybe built a little bit different and have I don't know.
See that? Thanks for bringing that up too, as well, Shannon. I really, because that's the thing. Like, I hope something like that happens, and I hope it gets taped. It was more weird when it happened last year, as opposed to if it happened while they do Dynamite this year, and it happened because what she's talking about is, and if you watch it, you can watch on the tournament matches that they put on the Fight app.
Yeah,
last year's cruise. I think it was one of the Briscoes and I think Hangman actually were in a match in the tournament, and a bird dove at some people in the crowd. And again, we were in the middle of the ocean. There wasn't a lot of land around, and this bird, like I talked about before, I saw the bird flying, and I was like, he's really close to our boat, and we're really in the middle of nowhere. Like, where did that bird come from? And like literally later, he dived right at the crowd. Pretty much same size. Yeah, that's what I thought I had read. But the thing is, Colt Cabana and Jay Lethal were doing commentary for the Fight TV app, and Colt Cabana lost his mind when
I bet he did.
So it made for a really great moment, and I would love if something like that happens again.
Maybe they've got a bird train now.
Yeah, right.
Maybe Hangman will come in on a bird instead of on a horse.
It's his new gimmick. He
rides in on a parrot, or he rides in with a parrot on his shoulder, just like Captain Morgan.
Right. Yeah.
See how I did that with the alcohol reference? I'm always on top of stuff.
And there you go.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how that actually, because they're still doing wrestling like 2 other days on the boat. That's not, well, I guess I shouldn't say not being taped at all. It was. Have you seen it, X?
I have not.
You got it.
So I had to go watch it.
YouTube, just like Chris Jericho, bird. It's gonna come up, and you'll hear
sailor shit. Yeah,
heck yeah, and yeah, you'll hear Colt Cabana just lose his shit. Like, and he even says, he's like, I know there's a match going on, but that bird literally just dove. Yeah. It was good, but yeah, they're still doing other matches, so I'm wondering if they're gonna do maybe tape some stuff for Dark. I don't know.
Well, they probably, I mean, if their format follows through, they probably would tape a few and put them on Dark.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what they've been doing at the other venues.
I think like we leave at like 4 or 5 from Miami on that Monday, and I think by I think 7 or 8 that night is the first wrestling show. Obviously, Ozzy plays first, then the rest.
Yeah. So here's some physics stuff for you. Think about this a minute. You have to figure out how fast that boat travels, because realistically, if they do a match while the boat is in motion, if somebody runs to give a knee, there should be more force, to
that's some Cole Cabana right there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And anybody that wants to see that, pop that after we're done now, of course. So, but think about it. If it's say the boat is traveling at 20 knots or 25 knots, I don't know how fast that is. I'm not a sailor. No. And Hangman comes and hops over and gives the old buckshot lariat. Just think how fast he'd be moving if he was moving with the ship.
Yeah. Right.
It's the same theory as if you jump up in an elevator as you're coming down. And if it was crashing.
It's interesting because like when we went last year, like so they like fill these tanks up with water, and that's what's underneath the ring, and then they're like tied around to the ring too. So these like giant he did they had to bring an engineer on the boat for lap.
So it keeps it at a balance.
Yeah, so it keeps it from like going anywhere. And so because when we were the last night there after the last wrestling show, they were like emptying those barrels into the pools or something, I think.
I never even thought of that. Holy cow, that's
no one had until this engineer came on board.
Yeah. You would just think, oh, well, because I'll tell you, I mean, I have been on a cruise, certainly not on this one, or the other Jericho cruise, otherwise I know you're talking about. But when I got on the cruise as a passenger, and you may remember this may be what your experience was. Initially, it was like, yeah, you can feel a little bit of movement, but then you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And then when you get off the boat, it's like feel like everything's moving again.
See, that I don't know about because last year I was just really hungover that day we went out, so I just didn't feel
so
good.
The key
tired.
The key is to get really smashed, and then nothing will affect you.
I mean, it worked that night because literally, like I stumbled out, got my bag, we got in the cab, rode like 2 minutes to the hotel. Somehow the room was ready that early. They let us in, and I literally passed out for like 10 hours in the hotel. My poor nephew was hoping we'd go check Miami out, and I was just like, nah, bro, wake me up at dinner. I'm done.
Get you an Uber and check it out. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I know virtually a lot of the folks that are watching right now are the ones that are going to be going on the cruise with you. I wonder if any of you have any experiences that you probably wouldn't have had if it wasn't for the cruise. Because as Ace had mentioned before, I think on that cruise, it sounds like since the boat is relatively small, it's much easier to have interactions with some of the wrestlers. And of course, my favorite story that you tell is about meeting Jericho's dad.
Yeah, he's actually advertised as a guest this year where he wasn't last year.
Well,
he made an impression last year.
He's gained a lot of fans.
Yeah, and there might be people on here from the group on Facebook for the people going on the cruise. And I've seen that some people were even talking about like bringing Ranger stuff to have him signed. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that was, and I kind of knew who he was when he first approached me because it just, you put 2 and 2 together pretty easily. Plus, I've been watching wrestling. I mean, I'm 37. I've been watching since I was like 4. So
yeah,
I know a lot. I remember a lot. So yeah, like I had a Yankees hat on, but an AWA shirt. It was you're supposed to wear something to rep where you're from. I figured that shirt was enough, but I guess people kept looking at my hat and thinking it was from New York.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm like, it's a wrestling crew. Guys, Minneapolis.
AWA, baby.
Anyways, yeah, see, like I wear that around here and everybody's just like, yeah. Yeah, so he looked at my Yankees hat and stopped me and he's like, are you from New York? Which oddly enough, I was born in New York. I just left there when I was 3. So he was, I played with the Rangers, and shows me the ring, and I was like, yeah, you're Chris Jericho's dad. Yeah. So yeah, it was a family affair for them, and a lot of the wrestlers, they all bring their families on. It's a good vacation.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it's fun too. I mean, you get to meet everybody. It's a good, you all become friends. That's the biggest part I think I enjoyed, is coming home, having new friends that because that's happened to me with Mania. I have a whole crew of people that I was going to Manias with so many times, and shared so many, Adam Daly, shout out to Adam Daly, Josh Lopez, the Hoot podcast. Check those guys out. Congratulations. I think they just hit 100,000.
Holy cow.
Or something. I could be terribly wrong, but they hit a milestone. Congrats to those guys. They're good friends. But Adam Daly, how me and him are really good friends. And that is solely somebody that I met on a party bus going to WrestleMania 28.
Gosh.
And
so Shanna's got, that's a great,
awesome.
So cool. So what do you think he's going to be called, Johnny Smackdown now?
Johnny Smack, whatever. I guess he came out full on Morrison, right? I didn't see it where he did the whole slow mo, the same song, and
I don't know.
Just have him and Miz get back together, whatever.
Well, yeah. So it seems like it's what's going to happen. First,
LAX.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they were really cool too. I just randomly ran into them too. They were awesome. It's
oh my gosh. So what you're probably mentioning someone who is, as they say, a casual fan.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Perfect. I see, those are the kind of things that would not happen if you ran into somebody at a regular venue.
Yeah, and for me, I think one of the bigger ones last year wasn't necessarily even a wrestler. Like the first night when something was happening on the stage, though, Corey Taylor came and talked to me from Slip.
Oh.
So that was huge, because I love Corey Taylor. That guy's an amazing musician. So I was like,
did he need help moving something?
No, we just called him over. We were standing there. I was like, hey, Corey, come on over here for a second. And he was like behind the stage by like the mixer board, and he came over and chilled for a minute.
Very cool. Very cool. Usually like if people, like celebrities, and as a comedian, I actually, I get to hobnob with comedians. Nobody else. Other celebrities usually see me and say, "Are you here to fix the toilet?" And
I'll tell you what, though, you opened up for two guys that were on last year's cruise that people were talking about all weekend because they didn't see him, or when they did see him, it was hard to find them and meet them. And that was the Jokers, Impractical Jokers.
Oh yeah, the Jokers were on the cruise.
Sal and Q were on there.
Sal and Q, I think. You see Sal and Q a lot of times when they do shows, when WWE does shows, or anybody that's close to New York, they'll be in the. Typically, they like to sit back of the announce table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got to open for them. That was a lot of fun. They're all awesome. But just like anything, cool cats. And then after this
show too, it was them too, and they brought Cole Cabana on.
Oh yeah,
just like riffing, coming up with new wrestling gimmicks. It was pretty hilarious. It was a good time, and it was supposed to be for their "What Say You" podcast.
Oh,
they hadn't recorded it for a long time going into the cruise, and I don't think they've done it since then. And I don't know if that episode's even come out.
I would assume, since they have another show, and are doing a movie.
They're doing a movie?
Yeah, there's going to be an Impractical Jokers movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. Oh yeah, that's awesome, because I remember people talking about that "your ship sucks" chants when you report. To me, that sounds hilarious. Trouble connecting. It tells me. Are you there? We're here.
You there?
I'm here, I think. But I wonder what other kind of cruise ships are. Just imagine that there's a cruise ship full of older people, which is let's face it, who typically goes on cruises, because there's nothing fun to do on them other than eat and lay in the sun, which, to be honest, as an old guy, I wouldn't mind doing. But the point is, imagine a bunch of 60-year-old people, and here you guys all are in the boat yelling, your ship sucks. And just one of them here, Esther, what are they saying?
Well, the funny part about it is we were on the smaller boat, so they were all able to look in onto the pool deck for our.
Oh my gosh!
Why it was such an entertaining thing, because they can actually see and hear us. I mean, everybody was coming and taking like videos and pictures from the other boats of ours.
Oh wow!
So they, like one boat, like the whole like lifeguard crew was on the top. And they're like doing like DX at us and like chanting along, and
oh my god!
Like, and then like Corey Taylor came out and it started to go again then, and it was it's those things that you wouldn't think would ever happen on a cruise that happens on a wrestling cruise, though.
Which is certainly one of the reasons you guys all had so much fun. It's certainly the reason that he did it again. And you know, it's just amazing to me that. That's something that the WWE never, ever even gave a thought to doing.
Vince hates boats. It is funny. So before last year's cruise, like a week or two out, Jericho did a podcast where he ran down basically from having the thought of having his own cruise to right before we left.
Yep.
And he goes through all that and says he approached WWE first with the idea. And like, he even said too, he's like, I'm not expecting like Raw, Smack, like, give me NXT, bring NXT on the boat. And then like, I guess Triple H like was like, oh, maybe. And then we're gonna pass. But I guess he was saying that like, yeah, like Vince has a thing about cruise ships because he saw like people get. Remember when the bathrooms were backing up on that?
Oh yeah,
and like it was like a big shitty boat. Like he like that like freaked him out. So he has like a thing against cruise boats, I guess. But.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and then really good too. Like it sounded better than the original. Yeah, it was a crazy time. It was a crazy time. And the next one will be as well. And so here's the thing. Anybody who's watching that's going on the cruise, when we're in Miami, or not Miami, the Bahamas, we're in Nassau that day. Typically that will be there on a Tuesday. We always go live on Tuesday for the Xcast. So hopefully I'll be able to find some place. And Eric has been giving me some places too. Hopefully I'll be able to find some place so that we can maybe not too loud, some Wi-Fi, buy a couple drinks, and you and I will do a cruise.
I think that'd be so awesome.
So, and if anybody who's watching this is on the cruise wants to hang out with us, everybody's welcome. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think I might do like an iPad mini or something, but
that'd be cool. That'd work.
So that's the plan for that. Whole lot of cruise stuff. It's getting there. A few more days, but I want to get back to the Asuka thing.
Oh yeah.
We should talk a little bit of wrestling too. We can talk some more cruise stuff at the end, but I want to get into a couple of the things that were going on this week. And again, it's been hard for me to get into this whole angle of Asuka and Becky Lynch. Yeah, I'm down. Rum Distillery, it is. So, again, I'm down with. They're both good, but I need more dialogue between the two to be into this thing. And then on top of that, like, hasn't Becky gotten misted once before?
Yep, in a match,
and she didn't go that crazy, right? You
can do whatever you want, Shannon.
Yes, you can. That's fine. I encourage it. But like her first reaction to being missed the first time was not near as just what she did this last week on Raw.
Maybe Asuka got better missed.
But that's the other thing too. I feel like Asuka kind of missed. Right?
Yeah.
Like she didn't have that much mist on her face. Like it was like, and I know some people were really like into it and they like that and they like that. Just give me the mic. I don't know, man. I just felt like that whole thing was so forced.
Here's the thing. First of all, as I was saying before, the contract signing is 95% of the time it's just garbage. And this was no different. Kairi Sane came out with her umbrella and twirled it around and started poking it back. That's when
her entertaining moment, by the way.
That was it was pretty entertaining, but it was also the point that
that is a nice little turnabout right there they have going on. But I feel like they need to take a pause and like do some new stuff and maybe bring it back in a year.
I agree with you. The problem is that Asuka can't speak, and when she does, it's very difficult to hear. The entertaining part with Kairi saying yes, but it was a distraction so Asuka could put her green mist tablet in her mouth or whatever the crap, however they're doing their green mist these days. And the reaction of Becky was absolutely over the top compared to what happened to her the last time.
I mean,
Asuka 2 belts would be awesome.
It would be pretty sick. My only thing is like where, if it happens, which I think there's a good chance of it happening, where's Ronda Rousey going when she comes back from the Rumble? Because I feel like that's who's getting the belt at Mania. That's just my thoughts, but I could be wrong.
I would. Here's my assumption would be they're going to have to put it on. They're not going to want Rousey to take it off unless they do the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. I agree. The thing about it is, I agree with you 100%, Erica, but clearly the WWE does not.
Well, I agree with it too. My only thing with it is I still want that mouthpiece to still kind of give me some subtitles, I guess, a little bit, break it down a little bit. So it's like right now it's just random yelling, and I like it because it fits her. It's her.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Again, the other thing too is I feel like they hit just this big wall for the women's division in WWE right now. Just it's like they're going, and all of a sudden the last like month, boom. And like it's just weird. Like what does Charlotte have going on? Why is Liv Morgan getting her big comeback with this Lana story? Why is so much invested in Lana, by the way? You know what I mean? Why is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross not being used for anything? Why did we get the one big, like, Sarah Logan, like, okay, this seems like it might be something, and then we didn't see her this week? Why, I don't know. There just seems so much that could be going on with that women's division, and nothing really seems to be going on except this Asuka Becky thing, which is taken away from the women's tag title now.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I think part of the problem is that they have certain talents, as far as the women go, that are, you can't tell if they're a heel or a face. And they don't act one way or the other. And so it becomes this kind of sort of mess. And clearly Becky's the face and Asuka's the heel. So no problem. In the Charlotte and Sarah Logan, who's what? It's 2 women who are fighting. And okay. On SmackDown, it's the same kind of thing. It's Bayley and Sasha are supposed to be the heels, and Lacey is supposed to be the face, but they didn't really make a good transition, in my opinion, from when Lacey was the heel.
No, they didn't at all. Well, because they just didn't do a transition. They just took her away, and then weeks later, she's back on TV and she's a good guy. But that transition for Bayley and Sasha, like the whole Bayley turning heel thing was a great moment, and it was cool for a little bit. Not that it's not anymore.
But they didn't do anything with it.
I'm just confused by this tag, I don't know, whatever they have, Bayley and Sasha, and this whole like half of the time Sasha's not there, she's off doing her rap album or whatever. What's up, Wrestling Fan 93? And it's just it's awkward, it's weird, it just seems weird. And then you got Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, which Dana Brooke's just there to be there. They're not going to do anything with
Yeah.
which not saying she don't deserve it. She does. She's a good talent. They could do something cool with her. And then poor Lacey's just kind of getting crapped on because hey, you hate everybody. And then now we're not going to use you for a month. And now it's, hey, come back. We need everybody to love you. And it's like, but you gave her, and they haven't given her a chance.
No.
I haven't seen her get on a mic to do anything to win the crowd over yet.
It's to be fair, it's really sad because all of those women are trying as hard as they can to do what they're told to do. And again, a lot of people talk about it all the time. I mean, they have directives that they are to do. They are actors who are also highly trained athletes in the WWE, and as such, they're slaves to what's written for them. So, how they deliver it is up to them. But,
and I get that we're in a transition right now between, obviously this is just a weird time. It always is every year. This is kind of where things are happening. We're just trying to get to the Rumble so then we can officially be on the road to WrestleMania, where you're really going to see the Mania storyline starting to take place. Mm-hmm. With that being said, though, there's things planned that we're just not seeing right now, and they really are just biding that time to get to the Rumble. Shayna Baszler, I don't see her being on NXT come Mania time. I just don't. I see her being in the Rumble. I see her going far in the Rumble, and I see her having a big role coming into the main roster. Yeah. That's what I think is going to happen. And I get that that's why maybe we're getting some stuff right now that it's like, but then you look at like the Lana Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Liv thing, and such a wasted opportunity to bring Liv Morgan, who is a super talented person, alone. And if you don't think I'm right, fight me on Raw. When Lana threw her at the wall, the only reason that looked as brutal as it did and as good as it did is because of Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, Lana's not a wrestling. She's not a wrestler. She's not good in ring.
She's an actress.
She was able to act like she threw her, but the reason that thing felt like it was like, damn, was because Liv threw herself into that and sold the crap out of it.
And just as an aside from what you said, you must have been going crazy watching that because Rusev called him Bob several times.
That was great. You like this, Bob?
Come on, Bob.
But again, too, like this is now, and again, I get it. This is just something that we're getting until we get to Rumble. Hopefully that's the end of this whole Bobby Lashley stuff. But I mean, you even saw it like when they're like, we're not done. We're going to challenge them to a mixed match. And I love that not Bob, but Rusev was, you want a mixed match tag team chat, which they don't do anymore. Then 5 of it. Then it almost sounded like he dropped an F-bomb as well in that little promo, but it was hilarious. But then Liv did what, like 4 lines is all she said, and it was enough.
Yeah. It
was enough to be like, oh, so good, but I wish it was for something better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a weird time, but I don't know. I don't know. I love the Karma line though, and I love I like what she's doing, and hopefully they'll see that. And after this is all done, she gets an actual good thing going in the women's division. But man, if they don't, they really missed the boat on her. You would think they would take note too, because she's very similar to Alexa Bliss, built wise, how she works in the ring. They're both short little girls that you would look at and be like, no, you're not a wrestler. Look at you're short, you're a little girl. And then they get in there and they're amazing. So it's like, man, I don't know. And people are really, you didn't go with Wyatt with her, but she still has a lot of people behind her. So use that. Don't let that die.
Yeah, definitely.
So
another, are you done, or do you want to move?
No, move on. But I was going to just say, man, look, Kevin Owens on Raw.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
That
whole
whole
thing was just stupid and weird, the fist fight, whatever. But that Kevin Owens hardcore move off the stage made
oh my
the
God,
whole match worth it.
it was, and that's what I was going to bring up next, was the fist fight. Okay, the only reason it was a fist fight was so Big Show could do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Only reason, because when Joe and Owens came out with kendo sticks, well, those are certainly not fists.
Right.
So, but anyway, point being, I will say this: it was nice to see the Big Show back in the ring. He did, you know, for a guy his age and with his physical, I don't want to say ailments, but I mean, as he gets older, he's going to have some problem. He moved pretty good, I thought.
How big is he again? Like how tall?
I can't remember. I mean, like they bill him at 7 foot and 395 or something.
What are you? How tall are you?
I'm 6'5" and probably about 340. I was at the doctor on Monday, so just be quiet about it.
You didn't have to wait. I just want to know how tall you were. I thought you were taller than that a little bit, but
no. I will say this: I have my youngest son is 6'7", and my oldest son is 6'6", and but the 6'7" guy is just, it's like, you know. Well, and you remember from the kid from Rochester, Igor.
Mm-hmm. One of the world's tallest men.
Were you and I at that? Were you at the same house show in Rochester that I was when he was in the audience, pretty close to the where they were coming in, and Big Show came walking by and gave him a high five?
I wasn't there with you, and honestly, I don't know if I knew you then at that moment. But yes, I was at that show.
Okay. That was pretty cool.
That was like the first time WWE came back to Southern Minnesota in like 15 years. So
yeah,
that was like kind of a big deal. Yeah, I do remember that show. Yeah, it was nice to see Big Show, but and then the whole Buddy Murphy turn and joining, I don't
know whether I like it or not. I mean, it's certainly the build of a faction of some kind, but I have never ever in the I don't know how many years I've been watching WWF/WWE. I don't know that I've ever seen someone be so dejected after a match that they sit by the barrier into the next match. I mean, most of the time they make them leave.
He just didn't want to go home. Wanted to stay there. He was sad. But the thing with that, though, is like, I'm not a huge Buddy Murphy guy. I'll say that right now. I never really have been. There was just nothing that really made me like stand out about him where I'm like, oh man, this guy is amazing. And this is even back in his NXT days when he was a tag champ there. The Aleister Black feud made you take notice of him more.
Mm-hmm.
And especially last night's match, that was hard hitting. I feel like because that was the third match, right? Last night, that was the match. I feel like the 3 matches that they gave us was enough to kind of propel him up into a bigger role on TV without having to default by joining Seth Rollins' crew. I feel like you just killed some really good steam you built for him as a legit just performer and like a guy who can go. And then you're going to just be like, oh, but we're going to just have you be in this group where you're going to play second fiddle to AOP and Seth Rollins now. And you're not going to probably get a big run or anything right away. But it kind of also makes you wonder, what are they going to do with Aleister Black? Because also the other trade-off to that is Seth Rollins is top of the card. You're now putting this guy aligned with someone who's top of the card, top billing. So if you got to think they're that impressed with Aleister. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. But that's strange. Just the whole help us. And then later he comes in and like low blows Big Show. Is just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Again, but the whole time it was still just like, huh? But yo, did you see that Kevin Owens move? Did you see why are they sleeping on Kevin Owens? He's a beast. Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Al, all right. So let's anything else? Just the whole when Selena Vega was doing her promo for the match with Rey Mysterio, she brought up Dominic, and so I think finally we're going to see him being put into the mix.
Which, by the way, if they really, really gave it good effort, this Andrade Ray feud and this Andrade Ray title match, ladder match for the U.S. title, could have easily had a place on a WrestleMania card.
Oh God, yeah.
No, they're going to put on a show. And I don't know, it just makes me sad that it's like you're gonna put this on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Like, I get that you're not really relying on pay-per-view buys anymore because of the network, but it doesn't mean you still should just give everything away for free. I don't know. That seems like a big time match, and I was just really taken back that they're going to just do it on Raw, which makes you think that it's not going to end how it should. It's not going to go clean finish or something like that, or it's something crazy is going to, like you said, Dominic's probably going to have to get involved.
Yeah.
Lena's going to knock him off the ladder or something. I don't know, but whatever.
It happens, baby. So and I think the AJ and Randy Orton will be very fun to watch.
One thing though, not saying that, but one more thing for me with WWE before we can be done. For me, bringing anything up on that subject, but Eric Rowan. So now whatever's in there is biting people and making their hands bleed like crazy. Yeah, I'm sure Ricochet was back there being like, yo, that's my move. What the hell? Only I can do that. It's just impressive because, Kevin Owens isn't a small guy.
Oh, no.
And you got to have some speed when you get up there to launch off. And it was just made me so happy because I'm such a Kevin Owens mark. Man, AEW in year two.
Year two. It's a good thing. And we were in fact, we were just finishing up with WWE and going to start talking about that. We talked about it a little bit because Ace is going to go on the Jericho cruise here in a matter of days. With some of the folks, the thing for me, I will say this: the Moxley agreement pullback was absolutely hilarious, and a bit drawn out, but it had to be. Stripe and Grebson from the K, yeah, it's something that's a real biter. You know what it is? You remember that song from Primus, "Why Known as Big Brown Beaver"? That's what it is. It's why known as Big Brown Beaver in Eric Rowan's cage.
It was like, I don't know, that whole thing. If they don't show us what the hell's in that thing at the Rumble, I'm going to be really angry.
The thing to me is when he stuck his hand in there and he comes back in his palm. It's not a finger. It's not it's the palm. Wow. How the hell was he sticking his hand in there?
Well, the other guy who did that, it was the same thing.
How is it the palm? What has he got, a sea lamprey in there?
I don't know.
It's like, what possibly, a snake? No, he doesn't have a snake in a cage. You can't put a snake in it. You have to put a snake in a gunny sack.
I really feel like, too, that would be just like, I don't know. You had Jake the Snake Roberts. You could never have another wrestler with a snake now.
Maybe it's a weasel.
Rat. Who knows?
Could be.
AEW.
Let's move on to AEW. And I think we touched on a little bit earlier, and if you've been with us, we'll just touch on it briefly again. I think one of the funnest things and funniest and things that make me want to watch more to see what they're going to do with it is Hangman Page and his alcoholic tendencies. I mean, you can be a face, you can be a heel, but if you got alcoholic tendencies, you're way more interesting to me on either side.
I mean, it is true. You think about the Scott Hall drunk. You think, yeah, it is going to be Hornswoggle. Watch.
Oh no,
he was also the Raw anonymous general manager. That was the worst payoff to what could have been probably a pretty entertaining payoff. And they just were, they were just so sick of it by that time that they're like, let's just make it Hornswoggle.
The answer to the question that has no answers, Hornswoggle. He just lives just a few hours from us.
Yeah, he ain't far. What before the Hornswoggle line? What were we talking about?
We were talking about AEW, and I don't know. There's some of the things that I like. I mean, in the Hangman Page drinking business is
so Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Remembers that? I remember Road Warrior Hawk when he had his little.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I'll tell you what. With him out drinking with the fans, it reminded me a lot of Sandman.
Yeah.
More than anything else, more than anything you mentioned, it reminded me a lot of Sandman.
That wasn't a gimmick for Sandman.
I know it wasn't. I know. But I'm just saying, being out there with the fans and just having the fans egg him on. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's entertaining. I enjoy that. I'm enjoying that they had Private Party be very involved in that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will be going forward now that Kevin and Kenny beat them, but and then they had his like wrestling camp guy on the last episode of Elite kind of being like, giving him those words of wisdom, and he had the kind of thing. Like it's entertaining. And I think what's entertaining now about this is you look at all the stuff about Marty Scurll and how like a lot of people are anticipating like he's going to come back and Hangman might join him to become the Villain Club and they're going to be against the Elite, but you never know. Maybe that is what's going to happen. I mean, obviously with the recent news, what's going on with Marty Scurll, maybe not as likely, but you never know. But makes me more interested knowing that there's a bigger chance that's not going to happen right away, and see where they're going with this.
Yeah,
because it almost looked like he's kind of getting back with like Kenny, like they were kind of cool. And then if you watch the last Elite on YouTube, they were kind of cool, and he was taking care of them. And then at the end, he's like disappeared. Yeah. So, I'm very, very interested to see where they're going to go with that. And I'd like to see more of the Hangman Page. I'd like to see for year 2, some of the guys who helped put AEW together actually maybe get some spots and have some of the top spots and maybe hold a title or two. I know that, maybe some people, they own the higher ups in the company and all this, but it's, at the end of the day, they're all talented guys. That's why they had all of our attention when they were the Bullet Club on all the indie shows in New Japan and all that. They still deserve to be top of the card. So I'd like to see some of that out of year 2.
And I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of what you just said is one of the reasons why they haven't done that to this point. Just because I think they're very cognizant of what happened with WCW when the top guys were putting themselves over every night.
Yeah.
And they don't want that to happen, and they don't want to be compared to it. I get it. But as you say, at least one of them has to be there for what we all started watching for. So,
yeah, and to be honest, with Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes going over on the Lucha Bros, really makes me think that we're going to see them get a tag team run, like maybe a title run.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know. Well, first of all, Cody's not in the title picture, so I really do think after MJF we're going to see him and Dustin maybe have a tag title run. But I'd like to see what's going to happen because I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens if Moxley takes the title off Jericho and what they do with Jericho.
That's the key thing. The way it looks to me at this point is Moxley and Jericho are the top dogs. Kenny should be up there, but he's not. And he's not, I think, by choice.
Yeah.
And that's his choice because he wants to, work the company. I also feel like Pac is involved, but not as much as he should be. And I mean, while it's interesting that he's beating the hell out of Michael Nakazawa all the time,
he wants his match.
I mean, yeah. As far as like what Jonathan said about a belt for Dark, I agree with you. I think though that it probably won't happen in year 2, and the reason I don't think it will is because they've got a women's division that is talented but sort of messed up, and they need to find some organization for that. I feel like before they start doing other stuff, it's like, I mean, they had Britt Baker sitting at ringside on the match, and all they did was show her. Last week she didn't do anything. Sheeta did. Sheeta got in the ring, but Britt Baker didn't.
They're going heel with her though. She's going to be like her own independent heel. She don't like nobody. She's out for herself. That's what they're probably getting at with that. You're right though, because isn't Omega's heavily influencing? Like he's kind of running that women's division.
That's my understanding.
And don't get me wrong, I thought Riho as their champ, excellent choice. Little 98-pound girl that can fly around a ring and is awesome. Like you can't go wrong. Fans are going to jump on it. And it's just a great story. But again, we're missing storylines. We're starting to get it now with this Chris Statlander. Now that she's around, you're starting to see a little bit more, and you're seeing that this whole Brandy Rhodes and whatever the hell that thing group is that she has, and this group of face women now. I don't know. Again,
no, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
Jonathan brings up a great point. And part of the point is that she has no charisma. Well, I beg to differ with you on that. But here's the thing. I know she can't speak English hardly at all. And I know that because I've seen interviews where Nakazawa has to translate for her.
Yeah.
Now, I compare Riho to Asuka. Because in fact, it was probably a month or two back, that'd be my dream match because I wouldn't understand what either of them would say. But the point being that it's a different mentality with the companies, where AEW is like, oh yeah, she's a great wrestler, but she can't speak English, but that don't make any difference. I think that's why she doesn't have any charisma, because she can't say anything. She's just a smiley little cute little tiny thing that everybody, and I mean everybody that's in that company, can throw from rope to rope with no problem. She can make anybody look fantastic. She can do stuff to those people that it doesn't seem like she's doing anything to them, but it looks fantastic. I don't know. I would say women's tag title. Yeah. I think there's probably a lot of stuff that they want to do. And I like the fact that they're going slow with it.
Yeah, they're still taking their baby steps. They're learning to walk still. So it is what, I think there's just a lot of potential. I think the big thing too is I just would like to see, losing Kylie Rae really, really, because man, was she over.
Oh God, yeah.
Really good. She had a really good moment at that first pay-per-view for them when the bow got kicked off her head. I mean, everybody was like, her bow got kicked off her head. And, whatever happened. Whatever reason she's not there, she's not there. Good for her. She's back wrestling, though, so that's awesome to see her out there. But, wow. Yeah, I don't know. she it feels like they're getting ready to maybe do something with her, or I don't know. I also see maybe what are they going? She's not going by Karma. She's going by Awesome Kong again, right? I feel like maybe that's where we're going to see it.
I would have a tendency to agree, although it's the same problem. It's the same problem that Sheeta doesn't speak English either. And as much as I think these women are very talented and I appreciate their abilities in the ring, unless they can speak English to an American crowd, they're not going to be anywhere close to as effective as they could be.
Especially for a brand new company. They get their footing. Like you need to be able to have some storyline going on where we don't. Riho just shows up and has matches for the title. And like you guys said, I'm missing someone, but that's why this women's division hasn't quite taken off yet, is because Riho's the champ and there's not much you can do with that other than have her show up and have a good match. Again, I think they're really still putting pieces together. This because there's still signings happening. I mean, the big rumor was Brian Cage signed. Who knows if it's true? His wife shot it down pretty quick after it came out. But I mean, him going there seems like something that would probably also happen too. And then again, Marty Scurll is such a big question mark for AEW right now because, I mean, let's be honest, everybody thought that was going to be just the go-to. That was where he was going to end up.
Yeah.
To see him do NWA, not a big surprise, just because other people involved with AEW have been on NWA and done, but whatever. Yeah. Not a big deal. That never made anybody. That didn't throw people off from being like, oh, maybe he's not going. But this new deal with ROH, giving him. I mean, he's had a creative now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, let's see what happens. And hopefully that still leaves a little door opening for him to still be able to do some stuff with AEW, because obviously that's what everybody wants to see. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. And then I agree. But again, if you look at all of them, though, none of them are really still thriving like they all were when they came in with the hype of Asuka's one of the best from Japan. Nakamura is one of the best of strong style. True, but what are they doing now?
They're not. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with you, Jonathan. But the point is that they're not at top level. And they've got Rio positioned at top level, and man. Perfect. ROH, we're now called Villain Enterprises. Oh my gosh.
I want to say, didn't AEW, when they were first in talks of getting going, that there was talks of possibly wanting to work with ROH? And as I
recall, there were.
ROH shot that down, but then Impact was like, we'd work with you. So who knows? Maybe that'll lay down some groundwork that eventually we'll maybe see it AEW versus ROH, and Marty's heading them up, and that's what we find. Who knows? That's what's exciting about wrestling. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, shoot, we might, Benoit's kid's trying to get signed by AEW.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Brian Pillman Jr., I feel like is going to sign if he hasn't already. I'm pretty sure I've seen him backstage on some clips before. So I mean, I don't know, man. And he knows all them and stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of guys on the indie scene right now that it's like, I feel like you're going to see them coming on to AEW. So yeah, I want to get to this pay-per-view that they have, Revolution.
Yep.
Okay. I want to get to Revolution, get Revolution done, and then I want to see what AEW is going to do. You know what I mean? New Japan was kind of, but I feel like a lot of people are really encouraging for that to happen. So we'll see. Oh, that's even better. He's not at the bar with you. Oh, that's great. I don't know. Year two for AEW. It's like they have a lot to prove, but they don't really either.
Yeah,
it's their show. They're gonna do what they're gonna. I definitely want to see something happen with Orange Cassidy. I'm tired of him just showing up. Let's actually have him get involved, because that's, again, at the goal is that you're going to have people working with each other and building these stories, and that's what's making you tune in. And especially with AEW, that's what's making people buy your pay-per-view for $50 since we can get it on a network for $9.99 a month. Yeah, he probably will. Pillman Jr. is, man, tell you what, you want to have a very cool, in-depth, just crazy off-the-wall conversation about just anything in the world, like just like maybe theories, stuff like that. Brian Pillman Jr. is the man. If you ever have that chance, he's just a cool guy to just have a conversation with, man, when you're just talking off-the-wall stuff. I honestly don't remember if Wes and I have that podcast up. It might be me and Wes Briscoe's podcast, Briscoe and Big Ace show. Last year in Waterloo, we did do a hotel room podcast with
Pillman
Jr. and a couple other guys, and I was super fascinated by some of the stuff we were talking about. Not a lot of wrestling talk on that one, by the way. And actually, I think I scrapped it because it just didn't record that well either. But an amazing, cool guy. So yeah. I don't know. What do you want to see X coming year 2 for AEW? Like, what this time next year, what do you want to be able to be like, I'm glad they did it?
I would like to see more singles wrestling. I would like to see more stories. I as much as I love the Lucha Brothers, there's no story to go with them. It's all in ring. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's got to be a little bit of story. I want to see the women's division with a direction. I will say this. What they've done with the Dark Order to make it at least palatable and interesting now, which it is to me, they've done exactly the opposite with the Brandy Rhodes, whatever the crap that is.
Yeah, that
is the dumbest, stupidest.
It's definitely not connected
with no reason. So this is where I think there are things that I want, that I like, and they fix them,
right?
And there are things that I don't like, and they don't fix them. But then I don't know. It's I can't even imagine. There you go.
That'd be a good match. I'd watch that. For sure, John. We'll see you on the cruise, man.
Great to see you joining us, buddy. It's just so hard for me to say, because I like it, and I still feel like, for me, there's a honeymoon period, and I still feel like we're in it, because I like what they're doing. I like the pace of the show. I like so many things about this show. There are weak spots, but I'll overlook them because I like it. It's a great alternative for me to watch than WWE. And yes, I was going to actually, when Ace was talking about that, I was going to mention that you almost have to watch BTE in order to get a lot of the stuff that's going on.
You do. A perfect example was from this last episode of BTE with when Hangman finds Kenny backstage and he's with Nakazawa.
Yeah.
When they walk away, just that little clip, enough to see what Nakazawa was looking at on his phone, and it was the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Like, it's those little things, like those little, it's that's the cool approach that they have to it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I really do.
And I will say this, in that way, I think still, obviously, BTE is how they built this whole thing. And aside from their in-ring ability, but I mean, to me, it's a perfect example of uh, how to take advantage of social media that no other company is doing right now.
Yeah, I tell you, first of all, you're right, X. And then, John, you're right, man. There's the TV production side could still get a little brush up. Again, though, for what they're doing, like, awesome. Still, I mean, you can't, it's just, and I think they're doing it slow enough and in parts enough that's why. So they're spending months to perfect the TV production side, and then maybe we'll start seeing more storyline stuff like that. But things are improving. I am really enjoying Moxley Jericho right now, and they're taking the time to tell this. It wasn't just over a couple weeks into this big special pay-per-view. Like, they're really building it up, and I thought that was a great segment when he was like, "I'm in," and they're all like celebrating, and all. He's like, "Oh, I was just kidding." Like, that was hilarious. That was great.
It was. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's to me it's exactly like the Dark Order. When the Dark Order started, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? Except now the Nightmare Connection is like, I'm like, what the hell is this? But I know everybody.
I also wonder, and I question this for myself on why maybe I'm not into this Nightmare Connection thing with Brandy Rhodes and her little gang. I've always, because what was her name? It was Eden or something like that.
Yeah.
WWE, when she was the ring announcer and doing like backstage vlogs for WWE, whatever. I've been in my brain basically tuned to look at Brandy Rhodes, and it's a baby face. She's just a nice lady. So her trying to come off as a heel and like all bitchy and mean, I see it and I'm just like, that seems so fake. It doesn't seem like her.
And the other part of that disconnect is there's no way that she can do that and be married to Cody.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's just weird. Yeah. And I do like Sammy.
Yeah, that is a good point. See, one of the best segments from last week was a picture in a picture, which I think they are really having timing issues with, which Jason mentioned. One of the best things that they did was when Sammy was flipping the cards. That was my second favorite thing of that entire show, was him flipping those cards during the break. And just fantastic. Yeah, and like John said, the audio's been getting better, which it has been, so that's awesome. Yeah,
that's and finding a way to use the PMP like they did with Sammy Guevara, cue cards was brilliant. I think they need to learn to time that one better though, because there's still things that it's like, they're doing on PMP, and you're just like, come on, I want to hear this, I want to see this.
Yeah. And in fact, there were points where they had picture in a picture and the people were talking in a camera. Yeah. And it's like, well, that doesn't help anybody.
Yeah.
By the way, perfect with the Rainbow Connection, Jason.
So it's there's
a lot of things. AEW they've got a lot of things to improve, but they're still doing a lot of things right. And
they got a big 2 weeks coming up into then a big pay-per-view in February. I think this pay-per-view in February, blah, 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 is really going to also kind of be telling for them, because it's the first pay-per-view with TV time to tell stories to lead into it.
Right.
Because Full Gear, I think, had a little bit, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
A little bit, but they were still really early. Where now it's like they've been going on for a little bit now. We can get into this Revolution. And then these next 2 weeks are going to be big for them. They're really playing up this Bash at the Beach. So
yeah,
they're going to have to deliver with a really good show tomorrow in Miami. And then again, I mean, in all reality, just having matches on a boat, filming it and playing it on TV, people will probably watch just to be like, I'm curious to see how they do matches on.
Oh, absolutely.
But again, too, you're going to have to do something special to make it. Being on the boat is special, but then something special needs to come from that show.
Right. I agree.
So who knows what we're in store for?
You boat goers, you're going to have so much fun, and I'm going to be so jealous.
Yeah. So And again, if anybody who is watching is going on the cruise and didn't hear us earlier, Tuesday while we're on the cruise in Nassau earlier in the day, I don't know exactly what time. We'll tweet it out and put it out on our Facebook and stuff, but we'll do a live XCast from Nassau. Me and the masked man. So I would think so, right?
Yeah. I found it interesting that they reset at the beginning of the year.
Oh, that's a good question. Sorry. That's a good question, John. Being that there's 3 full days of wrestling, I wonder if the day before and after will. And yeah, someone's going in the pool. Come on. We did last year, which if you want to hear a great story about the Sammy Callahan and Marty Skrull getting thrown into that pool, check out my YouTube channel, the Briscoe and Big A show, and check out our Marty Skrull interview. More people should check out our Marty Skrull interview. And you'll hear him talk about how he hated jumping in that pool.
All right.
He doesn't swim.
Oh, there you go. So let's quick talk about a couple more things. One of them is that the WWE is still, and AEW are still sniping each other a little bit. I saw the promo for the Dusty Classic, and they're just using Dusty's face all over the damn promos. And it's just like, really? I guess I haven't noticed it. I just was like, oh yeah, it's the Dusty tournament. Like it didn't. But they wouldn't, honestly. Do you think they would do that if Cody wasn't in the position he's in now and Dustin was over there? I don't think they would.
I guess I haven't noticed a big difference in how it's been advertised. I am not gonna lie, guys. I've been horrible about watching NXT lately.
Yep.
So I've missed it. So
Me too.
I don't know. I don't know. It would be really. Yeah, and I don't think there's any.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true,
John. I think it's just more of we're not going to just pretend like let's acknowledge that you guys have a company, and at the end of the day, you're all competing for TV ratings since you're all on TV, and for people's time and money.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might take a jab or two in good fun. I like that this hasn't gotten to the point like when it was with Bischoff back in the day where he's just
that was terrible,
grabbing WWE suck signs from the fans, walking down in front of the camera like, yeah, Vince is like that. No, just run your show. Maybe throw a little funny quick jab every once in a while, but then that's it.
You can do it.
So that's why I don't mind this as much. If they get to that level where it was between Raw and Nitro, it'll get real gross real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and the last thing that we'll say, the paper. Geez, I'll tell you what, man, those pay-per-views are still fantastic. Those takeovers.
Yeah, I heard the NXT UK takeover from this past weekend was pretty awesome too. So I got to watch that.
I got to go watch that. I have to watch NWA Power. I don't know if any of you that are watching tonight are watching that. I come from an old ancient era where old school TV wrestling is fantastic, and these guys have really captured the essence of it. And as you said last week, the big surprise appearance was Big Papa Dump.
Holla if you hear me.
And I just, but anyway, I will say
he's coming to little old Rochester this summer.
Oh, he is.
Nerd Out Con. So
I'll tell you what, man, he's coming to Nerd Out. Oh, no, I'm not going to come then. I don't want to be within 100 feet of that guy.
Yeah, you're going to have to, though, because we might be doing some live stuff there. So.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. But
I'll try to make sure we can get the interview with Animal. How about that? So
that'd be better.
Road Warrior Animal.
That'd be better. But anyway, point being, they're doing some good stuff there. And there are some standouts. One of the standouts is Aaron Stevens, the former. I've been watching it so much I can't even remember what he was in WWE. Mizdow, Aaron Sandow.
Oh, Sandow.
He is one of the standouts, and literally as his same character, but with a new cohort who is the question mark from Monrovia, and it's just hilarious and stupid to me. It is 100% old school, like 70s wrestling with athletes that can pull off the moves of today. And I love it and watch it every week. And I watch that before I watch NXT. So hopefully that will tell you a little bit about how good it is. Nick Aldis is fantastic. Camille has still not yet said one word, which is fascinating to me.
I was really hoping old man was going to make out with her the other day when they were having her stare down. I thought that would have just made it even better. Like she slapped.
Oh yeah, she slapped. She slapped the taste right out of his mouth. Yeah, I mean it's good stuff. Thunder Rosa is a fantastic talent that for some reason nobody else saw anything in, and she is fabulous. ODB is there helping put some of those girls over that are newer. Melina's over there as well, and gosh, it's just an awful lot of fun to watch those guys. Other than that, have we missed anything?
I mean, at this point, if we did, we'll get it next time.
We'll try.
Not next time, but maybe in like 2 weeks, because
next time you're going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. Will probably just be a lot of cruise talk on next week's episode. Again, we don't know what time this is going to happen. As soon as we do, follow us on. We'll figure
it out. We'll make announcements. It may be as late as Monday, possibly Tuesday. I have to make sure that I am.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do it on Tuesday if I find the Wi-Fi. But
well, I'm just trying to figure out because I have to make sure that I'm not working. Because if I'm working, we ain't gonna do it. Because I can't get out of it at this point.
Better hope it don't snow.
Even if it snows, I still.
Oh, you do the other one.
If I put myself on the schedule, I can't get off of it. So I may have screwed us.
Well, we'll figure it out. But
you can hit me in the head of a bottle of the bubbly.
All right, we'll figure it out, and
we will.
Yeah. Otherwise, though, I hope everybody watches and subscribes. Yes,
absolutely. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like. Gosh, Monday
party time. Yeah, I know. Well, I think that would, dude. I hope nobody's gonna be that person on the boat that they're gonna watch what's happening on Dynamite on the boat to run off later into the port just to catch a Wi-Fi to like tweet out, "Here's the spoilers from what they did tonight." Like, just it's vacation too. Everybody, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys have fun. I hope that we'll have to figure this out. We'll have to be very on the fly, my friend.
All I know is for the cruisers, time will need to be done. It will have to happen by like 5 at the latest, just because we'll want to be on the boat. Otherwise,
oh, absolutely, absolutely,
for the show, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to be in the front row so you can get on TV.
Yeah.
I need you to be on TV with your
right, Metzler.
You guys should just throw him off.
He's gonna find some way to do it. He'll buy the shitty internet package just to tweet home, "Here's the results."
It's costing me $25 a day, but I'm the first with the scoop.
But yeah, all right. So we'll hopefully have an announcement on. Hopefully there will be another live show Tuesday, and we'll do it while I'm on the cruise in Nassau. And yeah, and then on top of that, anybody who's going on the cruise at Watch tonight, if that happens, join us wherever I'm going to do it, which I can also let people know. And whoever wants to come hang out with us is more than welcome, right, Mask?
Love to see it. Love to see it. I won't be hanging out with you, but I'll be envious.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then obviously every Tuesday night, 8:00 Central, we are live on YouTube.
Sounds like a big winner. You guys that stuck with us the whole time, thank you so much for what?
Yeah, you're supposed to do podcasts and it's not on the schedule.
Maybe because he's a spoiler. You guys that all stuck with us for the whole show, we really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Like us, subscribe us, pass us on down the road. And we will see you next time on the Mass Comedian Xcast. Have a great time on the cruise, buddy.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you guys later.